Director of Programs, and to sisters and brothers. Namaste, Vanakkam, and Namaskaram. Since 12 o'clock today, I have been listening to nothing but eulogies about this great man. 11 presidents of the world, the president of this country, including the president of America, and of course now another 11 praises of an individual who certainly has touched the entire world. I thought I'll just share a few incidences of my relationship with him. In the early 70s, we were all involved in forming the Black consciousness movement in this country, led by Steve Biko and both my close friends, Trini Mudley and Sats Cooper. And of course, in 1976, you all know of the famous Soweto riots, which changed the destiny of this country. Immediately after that, both Sats Cooper and Trini Mudley, together with my other friend, Dr. Aubrey Mokwapwe, ended up in Robben Island. And I used to visit Trini Mudley regularly at Robben Island under the pretext of being his attorney. And Trini had the singular distinction of being a cell mate of the great man Nelson Mandela. His cell and Mandela's cell were right alongside each other. And I used to hear many stories, but amazingly, I had never met Mandela, although like everybody else, I had heard about him as a young man. And each time I used to go to Robben Island, Trini would tell me, the Bali gave his regards to you. That was the beginning of a relationship. And when he was released in February 1990, we then hosted him as just about within a month of him having been released, we hosted him as a guest of the National Soccer League, of which I was then the chairman. And it was a function which was held at the FNB Stadium, the very stadium that his memorial service was held today. We had a huge marquee, and he arrived there with a whole lot of security people, and I clearly remember a black BMW. And when he got off the car, he was introduced to me by our CEO, Mr. So Modise, who said, meet so-and-so. And you won't believe his response, and this was his response. He said, yes, I know Ashwin. Who doesn't know Ashwin? He is greater than me. He's in charge of football in the country. That was the kind of person he was. And of course, subsequently to that, I then had the pleasure of meeting him, or privilege of meeting him rather, when he called us faith leaders in 1998 to Lutuli House. And he said to all of us, I'm now running this country. It is not an easy job. And he laughed. He said, it was easier sitting in Robben Island doing nothing. But I need assistance from every person that is important in this country. And you, religious leaders, all of you, are very, very important. I want you to help me. I want to consult with you. I want you to criticize me if I'm wrong. And I want to be in a position to talk to you from time to time to deal with issues, social issues that concern this country. But before I do that, you guys must form yourselves into an organization so that I know I can deal with a properly constituted organization, and more importantly, I can deal with an individual. And that, of course, led to the birth of the National Religious Leaders Forum, which was formed in 1998. And of course, again, the first chair of that particular National Religious Leaders Forum happened to be from the Hindu faith. And subsequently, we had many, many meetings with him. And the meetings were just amazing, because when you went to see him, you'd think that you're going to see the president of a country and you'd expect some kind of formalities. that would exist. And he would just come into the room. Yes, how are you, Ashwin? How are you, Warren? He just talked to people like he knew all of us his entire life. And when he raised a matter, he would say, listen, I am very unhappy about, and then he would tell us whatever he would want to tell us. This was his relationship, and that was the legacy that he has left, which has led to what you saw on television this morning. A member of the Hindu faith participating in a memorial service in this country. You know, we as Hindus in this country are a very small dot of the total population in this country. But it's his legacy. He wanted all the major faith groups to be recognized and to be given an equal opportunity. At his inauguration as a president, he had interfaith prayers. That was followed by President Mbeki on both occasions when he was inaugurated, and of course followed equally by President Zuma when he was inaugurated. And today, what you saw, those of you who had opportunity of witnessing what happened at the memorial service would have noticed that again, it was the major faith groups, the Jewish faith group, the Hindu faith group, the Islamic faith group. Those three constitute not even 1% of South Africa's population, but they occupied the same amount of time, the same kind of dignity, the same kind of privilege, the same kind of honor as the major religion in this country, and that's Christianity. So that's the legacy that he has left for all of us. His ability to recognize, his ability to encompass, and his ability to ensure that there was never any kind of discrimination in whatever he did. So there we have it. The scenes at the FNB Stadium were quite amazing today. Those of you who watched it on TV would realize it rained from 9 o'clock in the morning. It just rained, and it didn't rain like the way it's raining in Durban, drop, 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 drop. It was coming down continuously without any relenting till the entire day. Even when President Zuma spoke at 3:30 in the afternoon, it started even raining harder. I don't know whether that was a thing. But that is what happened today. And despite all that, there were at least 50,000 people there. You can imagine, I mean, in all that rain, people were there from last night, standing, waiting outside, sleeping outside the stadium because they wanted to be the first ones to get into the stadium this morning. So that's the kind of person he is. You won't find another human being ever, whilst we are in this universe, whilst we are alive, and even when we are passed on, who would have touched so many people, not just in a country, but the entire universe, the way he did. And that is probably the legacy that he has left behind. So let's savor it. We are all very fortunate that we are living in a time when we could actually be part of this history. He probably, in my humble estimation, is going to be the greatest individual of this universe ever. I don't think anybody is ever going to be able to get the kind of recognition that he did universally. So, like President Mbeki said on Sunday at the Jewish memorial service, he said, yes, we can talk about our past president. Yes, we can talk about his achievements. Yes, we can talk about his legacy. But the only way we can celebrate it is by practicing what his principles were. And how many of us in this country are doing that at the moment? Let's reflect. And Obama repeated similar words today. So with those few words, thank you very much to each and every one of you for having taken the time to join us at this memorial service. We are extremely grateful to you. To each organization that has participated, on behalf of all the officials of the South African Hindu Mahasabha, thank you to each and every one of you for having not only taken the time and trouble to join us, but to participate and to deliver a short address. It was quite pleasing to note that Vasugi, being an ex-school teacher, had warned you all that she won't allow you more than 3 minutes, and that all of you kept to that strict discipline. And to the organizers, Dinesh, thank you for organizing whatever little you did today, the PowerPoint presentation and so on. Niren, Kribs, and Vasugi, and all the others from the Executive Committee of the South African Hindu Mahasabha, thank you for organizing this memorial service. It certainly is appreciated by all of us. And to the rest of you, once again, from all of us at the Mahasabha, thank you for joining us this evening. We really, really appreciate the fact that all of you have taken the trouble to join us, especially in the fact that the weather outside is not all that exciting. But thank you very much.